Ever wonder what causes yellow light of death in PS3s? What the heck a 40nm RSX is? And most importantly, what's a Frankie? We'll be splitting the video into three main parts. First, we'll explore all aspects of what a Frankie is, giving you comprehensive understanding of this unique console variation. Next, we'll take you through the detailed process of how a Frankie's made, step by step, so you can see the craftsmanship involved. And be sure to stick around, because we've got some exciting surprises and insights that you won't want to miss. That's not good. A 1.3 ohm reading is far from ideal. Let's take a look at what the board is supposed to read. 2.3 ohms? Also not great. This board might as well be toast. What can I do now? Another broken console. 1.3 ohm does make sense. This console wouldn't display at all. Man, these PS3s are so unreliable. Now what? Of course, the 40nm RSX. These chipsets are better in several aspects compared to the 90nm. Remember that reading of 1.3 ohm? That reading usually means the RSX on board is bad. With this RSX being bad, we could replace it with the same 90nm. The issue is, these GPUs are unreliable. So what's the solution? The PlayStation 3 Frankie. Whether 40nm or 65. Now that you know what a Frankie is, how do we make one? And how do we even get a 40nm RSX in the first place? If you're interested in 40nm, see more in my YouTube description or drop a comment. In the second section, we will be discussing the steps and challenges making Frankies. So how do we start? Well, that's where things get difficult. It should really be where do we start? But I'll show you my process. While I'm finishing this D-LED, I'll explain my experience with doing Frankies. Learning a Frankie was a long and painful process. I destroyed many boards trying to succeed, but I eventually did. It is not for everyone, so be warned if you are serious about trying a Frankie. Good tip, bake your boards. Now starting out, you want to hit this thing with a hammer, so to avoid this, how do we take this thing off the board? Firstly, we want to evenly heat both sides of the board. We need to do this to avoid warpage in the board. Uneven heating can also cause popcorning, so please keep this in mind. After we reach around 217 degrees Celsius, the lead-free solder balls melt, and we can then extract this technological horror. Let's get to work. Before we get started, please let me know if you guys have any questions. I'd love to answer them. Now on to the extraction. Here's a live thermal capture of the board. Look at the heat from the bottom and top. And done. That 90 came off pretty easy. Now that we have the 90 nanometer off, we'll need to clean the pads from residual solder. We do this using a solder station and some solder wick. This is to create a flat surface for the 40 nanometer to sit evenly on. These balls will melt around 183 Celsius. This is due to the leaded solder we used, versus the lead-free solder that required higher temps to melt. Now let's clear these pads for the 40 nanometer RSX. With the pads clear, we can now put this on. I use flux for both the board and the bottom of the RSX to avoid oxidized pads and ensure better connections. I put the 40 nanometer on off camera, and it measures good now. Hopefully this works. Now for the final part. In this section, we'll be doing voltage mod, replacing NECs, and finishing touches. Right now we're doing resistor mod. This is required for Frankies. Up next will be voltage mod. Voltage looks good. Time to replace those NECs. Now, time to test. Looking good. I'll do more testing off camera, but I'm confident this will be good to go. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like what you saw, please drop a like and subscribe for more content like this. If you are interested in a Frankie service or other video game consoles, please visit consoleking.net for a great selection of game consoles and console services. Thanks again. Bye for now.